These are called hooks. We use little girl ballerina feet when we're running away from footlocks. Right now we're going to use hooks, and we put them in here. Heel to heel if you have long legs. If you don't, you can put them here. I have longer legs, so I go here. What you never do is this, guys. And this is what you have. And this is what everybody does at first. They get the guys like, ah! They're so happy, and you'll learn the hard way. So I have his back, over. You guys see this?
Yes.
Under and over. It's called the under and over. I put my chin up here. You see it? Seatbelt. He takes that hand and he pulls it down because he doesn't like it. Take the other one, do the other one because it's over the top. Boom! And I go right to the choke. So whenever you're starting, just kind of get used to with this thing here. With the bottom hand over the top, okay? That way, you go right to the choke. Just little details. So what's going to happen is, I'm going to try and choke him out. I want to strangle him. In order to strangle him, I have to cut off this carotid artery and this carotid artery for 7 to 10 seconds, and then he goes to sleep. But there's so many miscommunications that can happen with my muscles. Animal. I have to make sure that I'm making the connection. There's a science to this thing, and the science has to be followed. You guys, capiche? What's going to happen is, I want to get my elbow pointing straight down. You see it? I then want to get my hand here in back of his head. I then take this hand, tuck it up here. I use my chin to tuck it all down, and then I could do this before or after or during. I fall to the ground side. Boom. You guys see what side I'm talking about? You guys see it?
Yep.
Then I constrict all my muscles, nice and slowly. You see how fast he tapped there, guys? I'm going to tell you why. It's because I had a 100% correct technique. Somebody tell me, on their estimation, how many times you're going to get 100% technique on this?
Zero. Never.
Zero. Never. So what we want to look at is the little nuances that he's going to do to defend that we're going to do to attack. Aside from the fact that some guys just have freakishly strong necks, like myself. In Jamaica, we've been choked out by some of the greatest grapplers in history for years. So we've developed strong muscles around there. Now that's not to say we're immune to it by any standard. But unless you get it in perfectly, unless you have really good sustainability, it's going to be hard to choke us, even when you have it in deep. You guys you got that so far? Okay, so what I want to do though, is I want you guys all to feel what a perfect choke is. I'm here, pull it off, boom. Get my hand down. And back in, guys. You see this thing here? We don't do this. And that's what you see a lot of guys going to do like this. As soon as I go like this, he's grabbing that hand and he can even armbar me there. Right? So I'm here. If I can grab his shoulder, this hand like this, right around his neck. This hand then creeps up that center. I fall to the ground and I just tighten. Okay? I'll walk around and help you guys. Keep the same partners, please, and we'll detail. 1, 2, 3. Have this thing perfect. He's going to be ready to get that elbow straight down. So we have to learn how to make adjustments. And here are the adjustments we make. We're here, and immediately we hit the ground. He's going to be yanking on my arms, guys. This is what he's going to be doing. If you all would come to the top, please. Now, 2 things I want you to see. Number 1, look at my foot, and look at my foot. It's no longer here because I have more of a chance of doing this and getting foot lock. So when I fall to the ground, I'm going to put my foot up on top here. Almost every time. It's going to keep him in control. Now sometimes guys try to squirt that way. I will close my guard here. A little more advanced. I'm not worried about that right now. I'm going to be here. Once you're here and you realize you're not going to get your arm and back of him, here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to take the top hand off and push his shoulder as front as you can push it. Boom! You see it? You see if his neck cranks like that? Oh, that's a beautiful bonus. But let's make believe it's not for now. It's here. We're pushing with everything, shoving this thing that exposes my hand. Then I'm going to do what's called a 10 finger. You guys see it?
Yes.
The knee comes up top. And I pull straight back across my knee. Pulling, pushing. Again, I'm going to walk around with you guys. This is just first detail number 1. Over and under, he's grabbing my arms with everything he's got. So you know what? Hit the ground. Notice which arm is on the ground, guys. It's not the one that's under his arm, it's the one that's over his shoulder. Super important, guys, super important. Again, foot's pushing his thigh. I don't want him running away on me. I'm gonna have to yank this arm out, boom! Shove this shoulder as much as I can. Expose that hand, grab it. You see how my forearm is down his back? My knee goes across it. And now he goes. See it? A shot. 1, 2, 3. Seat belt. Ground. Push. Grip. Knee. Finish. Finish. So the finish is not me yanking back, it's closing my arm. What I'm trying to do is smash his carotid. My bicep is across his other carotid. So guys, let's understand this. Sit up. We have 3 different chokes in jiu-jitsu, right? The first and most important is a blood choke. Why is that the most important? Because the guy's out in less than 10 seconds. It cuts the brain. It takes the blood to the brain. You cut that off. The guy loses consciousness. Doesn't know where he is for about a minute. All of a sudden he wakes up and says, holy crap, where am I? And then it starts to come back to him. The second is an air choke. When his esophagus is pulling air here, and you bend this all down, he can't breathe. Right? That's an air choke. And the third is the meanest, but it's the Adam's apple. It's when you're taking your thumb and you're jamming it up in that Adam's apple. He feels it for days, bro. For like days, oh crap. It's like it feels like something tore in there or something like that. And all different ones are engaged in different chokes. And there's literally dozens of different chokes. Not every choke works on every guy, and not every guy can choke every guy. That's just the facts of it. This choke here is basic of the basics. Day 1 jiu-jitsu, make our adjustments. Because we started with the perfect rear naked choke, which how many times does that happen? That many times, 0, unless the guy has no idea. In this class, everybody has jiu-jitsu, right? So we're fighting with guys who know jiu-jitsu. It's obviously going to be hard to get the perfect jiu-jitsu unless he doesn't have any jiu-jitsu. So here's our first adjustment. Day 1 adjustment. Over and under. He pulls the arm off. I go to the ground. My arm is flat on the ground. My feet are not crossed. Some guys go like this. Some guys close it under here, whatever. Just do not cross, especially with Pete. He is going to hook them legs, show him. And it's going to be over, right? We're here. We have to release this arm. He's going to be holding it. You can use your knee. He's boom. And now you come back, and I don't care if you punch his shoulder or whatever. Boom! You shove him as much as you can until your hand is exposed. It's exposed, turn this hand right to it. You see it? My elbow is down his back. My knee comes in back of it. I now pull to close my arm and push my hips forward. So it's like this. See how fast he's doing that? Now, last detail is, guys, a rear naked choke is sometimes worse on the guy doing it than the guy getting it if you have it wrong. And when you finish and you can't finish the choke, when you're stopped trying to choke, you're gassed. So let me explain to you the most important part of this whole thing. Let's say I've got him here, and he's strong. It's a middle fight. He's got his and I have everything in here. I'm not going, I'm slowly, like a snake, closing the gates. Did you guys see that? And it's gonna take 20 or 30 seconds sometimes. And you're gonna get, man, the guy, ow. And the guy's gonna wonder if you, and it just starts to slowly get tighter and tighter. And then the lights are out, okay? Last time, go work on it. 1, 2, 3.